Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're doing more than just scrolling and posting. We are going to build your personal guide to mastering the digital world. You know, how to be safe, smart, and responsible every single time you log on. Okay, let's just jump right into this. This quote, it's really the heart of everything we're talking about today. Why? Because what you do online, that digital footprint you're leaving behind, well, it doesn't just vanish. It actually defines who you are, to your friends, to schools, and yet, to future employers.
So before we get into the rules of the road, we really need to understand the vehicle we're driving, our own digital identity. Let's break down what actually makes you, you, when you're online. So who are you online? It seems like such a simple question, right? But the answer is really a mix of three key ideas. Let's take a look at the very first one. First up is digital citizenship. I want you to think of this as the foundation for everything else. It's not just about using the internet, it's about being a good neighbor in this massive, bustling city that is the online world. Now, what's really interesting here is how Netiquette connects so directly to our Filipino culture of respect. You know, the po and opo we use every day? Well, Netiquette is basically how we show that same courtesy and respect for others online, even when they're just a username on a screen. And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, your virtual self. Think of it like this. Every single post, every comment, every like helps build this online version of you. And it's not some separate character in a game. It directly affects your real-life reputation, your school, and even your future. Okay, so now that we know who we are online, let's talk about how we actually interact with other people. Because let's be real, we're not just posting into some empty void. There's a real person on the other side of every single screen. This is so important to remember. When we're online, we lose all those little signals we rely on in person. You know, body language, the tone of someone's voice. A simple joke can easily be misunderstood, and one bad post can stick around forever. So the main rule of Netiquette is actually pretty simple. Treat others online just as you would want to be treated in person. But sometimes online behavior crosses a serious line, from just being rude to being truly harmful. Cyberbullying isn't a joke or a one-time mistake. It's a repeated, targeted attack that causes real, lasting pain. Now, if you or someone you know is going through this, you are not powerless, not at all. Here are three clear, actionable steps you have to take. First, save the evidence. Second, use the platform's tools to block and report. And third, and this is the most important one, tell a trusted adult. You do not have to handle this alone. And this isn't just about personal responsibility anymore. These behaviors have serious real-world consequences, and right here in the Philippines, we have actual laws in place to protect us. Let's take a closer look. We're moving way beyond school rules now. We're talking about national law. The Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012 is the big one here. It's what officially defines what counts as a crime online, and, you guessed it, lays out some pretty serious penalties. And as you can see right here in this table, these aren't just suggestions. Hacking, stealing someone's identity, spreading nasty rumors, which is legally known as online libel, they're all covered by Republic Act 10175. Even just misusing someone's data is covered by a whole separate law. These are illegal acts, period, with serious legal consequences. And here's the good news. You don't have to figure this out on your own. From your school's own policies to DepEd guidelines, there's a whole support system. And for really serious criminal stuff, agencies like the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group exist specifically to investigate these cases and help victims. All right, now that we understand the rules of engagement and the laws, let's talk about building your defenses. How do you actually protect your own digital world and keep yourself safe? I mean, just look at this comparison. It might seem super basic, but having a strong password is one of the easiest and most powerful tools you have. It's the lock on your digital front door. Seriously, which one of these looks harder to break into? And you can make your accounts even more secure with these two simple steps. First, use a different, strong password for every single important account. And second, turn on two-factor authentication. It's kind of like adding a second, heavy-duty deadbolt to your door. Now, beyond just account security, protecting your digital world also means acting with integrity, and that means respecting the work of other people. Plagiarism isn't just some dusty old school rule. It's about ethical behavior. Taking someone else's art, their words, or their ideas without credit, well, that's a form of digital theft. And you know what? A fix is incredibly simple. Give credit where credit is due. Whether you're working on a school project or just sharing some cool art on social media, a quick citation shows respect. It's the right thing to do, and frankly, it's also what the law requires. So, when we put all of this together, we start to see that being a great digital citizen isn't some one-time thing you check off a list. It's all about the small, smart choices you make every single day. It's about stepping up and becoming a leader in your online communities. So here it is, a quick checklist you can use every single day. Before you post, before you share, before you even comment, just quickly run through these questions. Think of them as your personal guide to making smart, safe, and respectful choices online.
At the end of the day, the internet isn't something that just happens to us. It's a community, a world that we all build together with every single click. Your actions, your posts, your choices, they all shape what that community becomes. So the real question is, what kind of citizen will you choose to be?